Sir, joined.
Baby, please come to 10. Why? Because Papa Ishu want to go to 10. Why issue?
ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. We will start then.
Sir.
So, a very good morning to one and all present here. We are very happy to invite you all and welcome you all to the day 2 of our session. We are here to beat up and wake up the educator in us, and we have one of the very prolific speaker, and we have two speakers today here with us. And once again, wish you all a very warm welcome from the District Literacy Committee and Rotary Bangalore Junction. I take this opportunity once again, before we could begin, to invoke the blessings of the Almighty through an invocation song. I request Protractor Vaishnavi, who is a club literacy representative of MES Rotract Club, to invoke the blessings of the Almighty.
Am I audible?
Yes, Vaishnavi, please.
Hello?
Vaish
So, invocation song. Gajavadana he ramba vigna vinasha Varaputra Vinayaka Swami Ganesha Vinayaka Swami Ganesha Gajavadana he ramba
Protractor Vaishnavi, your voice is not audible to us. Probably there is a network issue at your
Hello?
place.
Sorry for the interruption. I'll continue the song. Gajavadana he ramba vigna vinasha Gajavadana he ramba vigna vinasha Varaputra Vinayaka Swami Ganesha Varaputra Vinayaka Swami Ganesha Gajavadana he ramba vigna vinasha Ishputra Lambo Parabrahmarupa Ishaputra Lambodara Parabrahmarupa Veda Vedya Ekadanta Dayananda Rupa Jaya Gunadayaka Varashubhadayaka Chitta Prasada Mangalamurti Parvati Nandana Chitta Prasada Mangalamurti Parvati Nandana Gajavadana he ramba vigna vinasha Gajavadana he ramba vigna vinasha Bhakta mano vanchita falada ಓಂಕಾರ ರೂಪ ಮನೋವಾಂಚಿತ ಫಲದ ಓಂಕಾರ ರೂಪ ಭಾವಗೈಯೆ ಬಾಲಚಂದ್ರ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಜಯ ಕರುಣಾಕರ ವರ ಶುಭದಾಯಕ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರ ವಿದೂರ ಗಜವದನ ಹೇರಂಬ ವಿಘ್ನ ವಿನಾಶ ಗಜವದನ ಹೇರಂಬ ವಿಘ್ನ ವಿನಾಶ ವರಸಿದ್ಧಿ ವಿನಾಯಕ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಗಣೇಶ ವರಸಿದ್ಧಿ ವಿನಾಯಕ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಗಣೇಶ ಗಜ ಹೇರಂಬ ವಿಘ್ನ ವಿನಾಶ ಗಜವದನ ಹೇರಂಬ ವಿಘ್ನ ವಿನಾಶ. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vaishnavi, for a melodious invocation song. Without further ado, I request our chairperson of Teacher Support Committee, Rotarian Shivkumar Jagate sir, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everybody. Today's topic is Unleash the Education in You. This topic, this is the second day. Today, speaker is Ajit Kaikini. I warmly welcome to this program, second day program, to Mr. Ajit Kaikini. And also today one more speaker, Keshar, Madam Keshar Patel from Delhi. She is going to speak in the first half. So I welcome Madam. And also I welcome today's participants, teachers from all over Karnataka and officials from Education Department. And also I welcome our District Director Guru Nagesh and District Directors. And also I welcome to Committee Advisor Lakshmi Sastri Madam and also Ravindranath, and also District Coordinator Srinidhi. I also welcome President of Sponsor Club, Rotary Junction and members. Also, I welcome Teacher Support Committee members and also Committee Chair Nagaraj Sringeri and members Anand Bhatt and all the participants. Thank you and all.
Thank you, sir. A warm welcome to you too. A warm welcome to you too, sir. Lieutenant Shivkumar Jagate, sir, Chairperson of Teacher Support Committee, Rotary District 3190. Also would like to recognize the presence of the Teacher Support Committee members, Rotarian Anuradha Ma'am, Protractor Meghana, Dr. P.S. Raghavendra, sir, who has joined us, and a warm welcome to all the Rotarians, Rotractors, teachers, and the non-teaching fraternity who are here to listen and to enrich your knowledge. I now request Protractor G. Meghana Galigali to introduce the first speaker of the day, Mrs. K. Patel ma'am. Protractor Meghana.
Thank you, Srinidhi. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Is it clear?
Yeah, you can continue. Thank you.
Mrs. Kesar Patel, ma'am, an educationist having an experience of 20 years, she is a national award winner and a vivacious speaker. She has worked in different capacities of school. She is a founder of Tiger Global School and she recently joined Jain International School, Bangalore. She has authored Aptitude, a set of mental ability books, an academician turned into motivational speaker. She has taken teacher training workshop since 18 years, and her ideas are highly appreciated. But she realized that the teacher community require more motivation than her ideas. So she has interlaced her teaching with more motivational talks, less of teaching techniques. We welcome you, ma'am. Thank you, thank you. Over to Srinidhi.
Thank you, Protractor Meghana. Before I hand over the stage to ma'am, I would like to recognize the presence of PDG RC Jain, sir, from RIT. Thank you. now over to Lisa, ma'am. We are waiting to listen to you, ma'am. Ma'am, you're actually on mute.
Am I audible now?
Now you're audible, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So, Shubhodaya, Nanu Kesar Patel. This is small Kannada, my attempt at learning Kannada. But rather than going there in that side, what I would rather like to proceed towards is the change and the mindset to change that we are here to discuss. As teachers, we have to face a lot of changes because every time something new is introduced by the government and it has to be inculcated into the school profile, into the working of the school. And this takes a lot of problems. This sometimes it creates a problem because sometimes you have been working on something and suddenly you are asked to do something else. So what this requires at this particular stage is a change mindset. So the more versatile we are with the acceptance of the laws and the rules that the government lays down or that exists in the system, the better we are towards progressing in a life as a teacher. So that is why change is important, and let us see how we can really bring it very effectively in our life. Now, I have come from Kurukshetra. For the past 2.5 years, I was in Kurukshetra. And I came to Bangalore on, let's say, 15th of June. So Kurukshetra was somewhere very predominant in my mind. All of us are aware about Kurukshetra. The epic, the war, Mahabharata, has taken place over there. And also something very significant came out of the war. That was Gita. The verses given by Lord Krishna through Gita. So what happened in Kurukshetra? Right now it is a city bustling with houses, traffic, everything. But imagine years ago, in that hundreds of years ago, in that ancient time, when the land was absolutely barren, plain, ready for war. Okay? Ready for war. Now, Duryodhan and Arjun, both of them went to Lord Krishna. And they said that both of them wanted Lord Krishna to join their side. So Lord Krishna said, see, I have two things to offer. The first is either you take my army, or the second is you take me. But remember that I am not going to pick up weapons. I am not going to fight in the war. If you want me, you will only have me as a person. I will not fight. I will not participate in the war. So Duryodhan automatically thought that Lord Krishna, without his weapons, was absolutely, he thought that he would be of no use for Kauravas and they would not win the war. And so, what did he do? What did Duryodhana choose? Can I have answers in the chat box, please? Is anyone aware about it? What did Duryodhana choose? Come on, teachers, it has to be a bit interactive session, the army. Thank you. He chose Krishna's army. So he chose numbers, he chose quantity. And so when we look at the battlefield, if we look from the above, if we look from the bird's eye view, what happened was there were two sides standing in the battle of Kurukshetra. One side filled with army people, that is the Kauravas, the heavier side. And then you have the stalwarts heading the army. They are Bhishma Pitama, Guru Dronacharya, Duryodhana himself. Now imagine the scene. Imagine the battlefield. If you can imagine it, you can actually feel what I'm trying to tell you. So that field with so many men, people, thousands of soldiers standing over there and heading in the front were Bhishma Pitama, Guru Dronacharya, Duryodhana himself, all those stalwarts. क्या होता है ऐसे में? देखिए, शत्रु को गिराने में सबसे बड़ा काम क्या करता है? दृश्य, इमेजिनेशन, दिखना, जो दिखता है, दिख रहा है. अगर कोई और देखेगा, बाहर वाला देखेगा, तो उसे पता चल जाएगा कि भाई इनके पास ज्यादा लोग हैं. The army is more, they are going to win. But it is not right. There is another Shakti which works. On the other hand, there were Pandavas, less in number, but strong in might. बल, लेकिन कौन सा बल? Physical? उससे ज्यादा it was the intellectual genius, the determination, the boldness with which they were standing. Now there is silence on both the sides because both the sides are waiting for the bugle to go out and the war to begin. Everyone is fighting a battle in the mind. They have to win. The Kauravas have to win and the Pandavas have to win. More than the win, it is the battle of the spirit, the good, the evil. What is to happen? There were a lot of oaths, lot of pledges, lot of promises involved in this war, which had to be won, which had to be kept up. Now, in all this, when everyone is planning for war, imagine Arjuna in his chariot, along with his Sarthi Krishna. He suddenly slumped, sat down. He crouched his shoulders. His determination came down. There was a panic point. There was a cold dizzy point. He didn't know what to do. Why? Why? What happened to Arjuna? Why did he slump down at that particular point of time when he was supposed to act? When he was supposed to act, why did Arjuna slump down? Any answers? Yes, he saw his own people. His mind changed suddenly. He said, these are the people. His emotions took over exactly. He said, these are the people who have helped me to become the individual that I am. I respect them. I adore them. I love them. I follow them. I am what I am because of them. And if I have to kill them, what good is this war in which I kill my own people? There was a sudden change of his mindset where he was prepared to revenge for Draupadi and for everything that the Pandavas wanted. On that particular moment of time when he was supposed to act, he went into a state which is called as inertia, a state of inaction completely. His mind blanked out. He said, no, I am not going to fight with these people. They are my own people. They are the people whom I love, whom I revere, whom I respect, adore. They have brought me, my own Guru Dronacharya has made Arjuna what he is. The self-discipline, the focus, the concentrated mind. Who has given me this? Guru Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitama. He has raised me up to this. His values, his ideals, his principles, everything is inviting to me. And I am not only going to kill these people, I am going to kill these values. What will the future generations say or call me to be? Am I doing the right thing, killing my own people? That is where Lord Krishna, the Sarthi who was with him, he realized the turmoil going inside the mind of Arjuna. And he said, Oh Arjuna, inertia has to be overcome. Because if you don't overcome inertia or the state of inaction, it leads to carelessness, delusion, and illegal acts. So come out of your inertia. And how? How will you come out of your inertia? The first point is calm your mind. Lord Krishna said, the first battle has to be won in the mind. Calm your mind. Win the battle in the mind. Pehle apne dimag wala war ko jeeto. You win the battle on the ground later, baad mein. That comes later on. But the first is you have to win the mind in the battle. So, hey Arjuna, calm your mind. That was the first thing that Lord Krishna said. And then follow the 700 verses of Gita, which we know today, which Arjuna imbibed. And what did Lord Krishna do? He changed Arjuna's mindset with those 700 verses. And then Arjuna realized that what he is exactly fighting for and why he has to stand up and why he has to do what he has been asked to do at that particular point of time. He cannot change his mind now. He has to act. He has to accept what is there in front of him, and he has to act or perish. Very, very important point that Lord Krishna said. So this is what we have to accept. All of us have that Sarthi inside us. Can you tell me where the Sarthi resides inside you? Can you think? Who is that Sarthi who resides inside us? Where is that Lord Krishna? Which portion of ourself? The mind? Something else? Exactly, who is the Krishna? Who is the Sarthi who is guiding you at all times? And you don't listen to it sometimes. We don't listen to it, the soul. The inner self-conscious. Your self-conscious. Your heart and soul. It keeps telling you so many things to do. Do. It will always tell you to do. But what do? Your mind puts you in a state of inertia. You don't do. That is the main problem. That is why don't you do? When your self-conscious is telling you, yes, you have to do this, you have to do this, you don't do it. You just don't do it. Why? Because there is one kalla, thief, which takes over. Procrastination. Have you heard about that? Now see, research says that 50,000 thoughts cross your mind every day. Out of those 50,000 thoughts, there are many thoughts which are creative, which give you ideas. Okay, that you should do this, you should do this, you can do this, you can do that. You can progress in your life, but you have to do this. But what happens? Do you know what happens? What happens is, when the creative thought comes to your mind, it vanishes from your mind within 3 seconds. 3 seconds is a very short time. Very, very short time. Now, in that 3 seconds, you are creative, bubbling with enthusiasm. You want to do something. And in the 4th second, what starts happening is, your mind tells you, no, there's a problem. This is a doubt. This will not be solved. That will come in your way. This person is going to laugh at you. He is going to criticize you. And within 20 seconds, you have decided that that wonderful creative idea should be buried somewhere, never to be seen again. Has it ever happened with you? Has it ever happened with you? Give me a yes in the chat box, or give me a no. Right? Yes, it happens. So the point is, psychologists who have done research on this, they say, what you do is, if you have that creative idea in your mind, no, what you do is you write it down quickly. Don't act on it. Write it down. Write down that idea, what you wanted to do. And then what you can do is, when you read it once, twice, first day, second day, third day, that starts getting registering into your mind. Your mind starts accepting the idea and rejecting the self-doubt. It accepts the idea and rejects the doubt. Ultimately, you grow up to be so confident because you have eliminated 2 things. What have you eliminated? You have eliminated fear that I will fail at this. That reading continuously, which goes to your mind, registers the fact that you are not fearful of failure. And the second, it leaves no scope for self-doubt. You become confident. Yes, I can do it. Any doubt now, your mind becomes a shield. It becomes a shield. So any doubt, if it wants to enter now, it gets thrown away. It gets reflected. It goes back. It doesn't come. Because the shield of confidence, the shield of no fear, the shield of no self-doubt protects your mind, protects your idea. And you start working on it. This is how people of action work, perform, give high performance, succeed, not once, but again and again and again. Remember, बुलंदियों पे पहुंचना कोई कमाल नहीं, To reach success is not a big thing. बुलंदियों पे ठहरना कमाल होता है. But staying over there on the successful peak for a long period of time, that is commendable. And for that, you need action. For action, you need a changed mindset. You need a mindset which accepts change continuously. And this is one area where the teachers and the teaching profession are lacking. Because there is one particular stagnated, decomposed, dehydrated, foul-smelling statement which runs in the teacher community. Can anyone guess that statement? If there are real teachers out here, they'll be able to guess. What is that one foul-smelling statement which goes on and on in the teacher community? Can anyone guess it? Put it in the chat box. Come on, put it in the chat box. Okay, I'll tell you. Clap, kudos. I don't know what. Thank you very much. Exactly. This is the stagnating statement that we need to change. The first thing is this has to be changed. It has been happening since years. Why are we asked to do something new now? Exactly. This statement, this stagnating, decomposed, and foul smelling statement, as I call it, should be removed from the language itself. Should be removed from the language itself. Because, see, teachers, what is the one you are in this profession to teach? Okay? And what is the one permanent factor which is continuously changing? Can you tell me in the chat box? One factor which changes continuously. And it is not under your control. No, think more. What is your focus area? No, it's not time. It's not time. Time is not changing. What is changing? No, not environment. Come on, think of. No, not people. You are a teacher. So what is changing continuously? No, not mindset, not technology. No, not our habit. Yes, different type of students. That is what. You have students and they are changing continuously because the world is evolving. The environment is making them change. First, they were joint families. They were humble children, more humbler. Now, there are nuclear families. You have more confident children at hand who want to explore. They want to question you. They are curious. They are inquisitive. So the one thing for which you are in this profession, students, and they are changing. That is why it is very important for a teacher to have a change mindset. I'll just tell you, there's a very interesting, my own failure story. If you want to hear about it, I'll tell you later on. Very interesting about it. From that failure, or somehow, I don't know, success, I learned exactly what and how and even teachers, this is a fact that I entered teaching profession because my mother pushed me into it, because she said, I refuse to take care of your child. You are working for too long hours. I cannot take care of him. So she said, you've done your B.Ed, you enter the teaching profession. But now this scenario will change in the coming 3, 4, 5 years, because the government will be allowing only, according to the new education policy, the government will only allow the most intelligent of the students to enter to take up the B.Ed course. So all of this is going to end, a lot of it will end, and we'll have teachers who enter the profession due to choice. I did not enter this profession due to choice. I was forced into it, but I've seen so many challenges in my life that I accepted this challenge also. Okay, fine, let me see what I can do myself for it. And I did it. And finally, I'm here as an educationist after almost 21 years giving into the field. So anyway, that is a different thing. So that is, change is very important and it is required for your life. Now let us see, how do you change your mindset? What are the things which help you to change your mindset? Any guesses? Any guesses how you become more versatile? No guesses. I think the audience is not that interactive. I think you should be. Acha, are you liking the session until now? Upgrading ourselves, yes. Did you like the session until now? Can we have, let's say, hoopla? Don't say yes or no. Write hoopla if you like the session. Okay, improvisation to change our mindset, constantly being connected. Yes, of course. Can we have some new? Okay, fine. Anyone else, please? A few more people. I think there are around 100 people over here. So we should have more of teachers saying, yeah, hoopla, or you say, no, come on. Yes, it gives me confidence. So I'm not low on it. I am overconfident, frankly. Sometimes I have to reduce it. Yes, okay, fine. This hoopla has really given me some cheerful thoughts to move ahead. So now we go on towards how to have a changed mindset, how to change your mindset. Okay. So the first point on how you really get to change yourself is just give me 1 minute, please. My notes are here. Okay. So the first point that you do is you change something every day. Now, see, in all of our houses, we have the arrangement as it is. I mean, arrangement, the interior decoration. I mean, to say the interior decoration as it is. So there might be a flower vase, there might be a lamp, there might be a sofa, there might be a small tea table. Everything is there in its place. And it stands in its place until we decide that we need to move it because we have to clean it. Apart from the cleaning value of it, yes, I do changes, of course. That is what I was saying. Try changing one object in your house every day and see, just reflect very calmly and quietly on how your mind reacts to it. How your mind reacts to it. It will say, no, it is not required. Still you say no, नहीं आज वर्कशॉप में बताया था कि चेंज करना है तो मैं चेंज करूंगी करूंगी कर दिया. Husband comes in, he says ये क्या किया, ये यहाँ अच्छा खासा रहता था, इसको उठा के why did you change, why did you put it over there, put it up, keep it back in place, and your mind starts creating self doubt. Did I do something wrong? Why shouldn't have changed it? Everyone likes it as it is. That is where you need to control. Tell your mind that no, the decision that you have taken of changing is for something better. Because the reflection of the light is making the flowers look more good when it is placed here rather than when it was placed there. See, no one ever takes a right decision in their life. No one. They take a decision and then they work to make it right. Because that decision, they feel that I took this decision and I took it because I want to do this, I want to do this, and this is right and this is wrong. And so they take a decision and then they make it right. So if you decided to change that one particular thing every day, what happens is your mind is never in the comfort zone. It will always be ready to accept the challenges. And that is how it should be, because life is uncertain. It will throw challenges at you either now or some point of the time later. And school and education is one such thing where challenges come up every day because there are behavior problems with the students. There are change in the management policies. There are things to be done, last minute things to be done. The principal might send you a note that I want this done before you go home today. And the first thing you said is, how can she expect that? She is expecting because she is also under pressure. You have to understand that. Instead of saying that I cannot do it right now, can't you accept it with an open mind? That is required. See, with the new education policy coming in, there are going to be changes. The point is, no one knows what is going to change. So you have to keep your mind open and adaptable. Humans basically are constructed in a manner which makes them very adaptable to change, but are rearing up, or the over comfort zones that we fall into sometimes do not let us accept the change that we want to do. And that is what creates a problem. If we accept the change that is coming, first you have to foresee, you'll be able to foresee. that, okay, this is going to happen. Now, many a times what I feel is the teachers know that the half-yearly examination is going to be conducted in September. Let's say mid-September, 15 September, it is going to be conducted. So that means the principal or the examination in charge will expect the papers. Every school has a system. Every school has a system. So they know that this is going to come, examination is going to come, and around 20 days earlier, they will be asking for papers and they will be asking for format. So if you are fourth year, agar aap aage ka dekh rahe, if you want to see the future, if you are fourth year, what you will do is, you, without waiting for the instruction to reach you, you will go to the examination in charge and tell him, please, can you give the format much earlier so that I can frame the question papers. Suppose if the examination in charge says, no, I'm not allowed to give and I'm not going to give it to you. Now, at your end, what you will do? Okay, 100 marks papers, I have to type 5 papers. What I do is I make my notes, I prepare my paper in rough, I keep it ready so that once the examination in charge gives the format, I put it in the proper format and I give it. Why wait for a deadline? Why wait for the last time of the deadline? This is another major problem. This happens because you don't wish to change. You see, you cannot change the system. Understand the ground rule of teaching and education. You cannot change the system. You have to change yourself. And change yourself means you have to change your own mindset so that you are ready to accept changes when they are coming. This is very, very important fact. We try to change the system. We try to say that why do you why do you want 5 papers instead of 5 papers? No, for like every subject, sometimes the principal asks that you make 2 sets of papers. So you say, why 2 sets of papers? It takes a lot of time to make a 100 marks paper. Why don't you take just 1 paper and do it? I'm not going to do something. I'm not going to cheat with the paper. You are fighting something which is not under your control. You are wasting your energy. Instead, channelize your energy into a productive field or way where you want to. So what you can do is prepare for that question paper. Get ready. This way, you will face less of mental anger, mental turmoil, less of the violent feelings, and more of the better positive feelings. So the first point that I said in changing the mindset is change something every day. And for that, your self-talk is very important. The self-talk, what you tell yourself every day. I can do it. I will do it. This is good. This is only good. See, something I read that हम लोग अपने फास्ट रखते हैं. कोई हफ्ते में रखता है, कोई मंथली रखता है, कोई जैसे भी आप रखते हैं, आप फास्ट रखते हैं, हम फास्ट रखते हैं for the whatever betterment of ourselves or the God or the spiritual identity in which we believe in, उनके लिए रखते हैं. एक फास्ट रखिए आप, spiritual fast, mind fast. What is that mind fast? That you decide before sleeping one day that tomorrow I am not going to allow any negative thoughts to enter my mind. And see how much of time and patience and determination it takes to let that thought not enter your mind. And the entire day, you will be focused only on positive. So now on that particular day, if the principal tells you that you have to fill in so many sheets of papers before you go, which will take you around 2 hours of time, automatically you are going to say, what are you going to say to the principal? What are you going to say to the principal? Come on in the chat box. Put the answers in the chat box. No response. Come on. What are you going to tell the principal? Yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I am ready. Yes, done. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. Now, the second point that comes over here is try something new every day. If you know about Richard Branson, the CEO of Virgin group of companies, Richard Branson, what does he do? See, he has a lot of money. He can live a life of comfort. He doesn't have to worry about anything for at least 3 generations. He has such a lot of money that he has money which will survive his 3 generations. After that, he can, the 4th generation will think what I can do. But what he does is, he does something new every day. And what he's very famous of doing is that he sits in his chopper and he goes to different offices. He has offices in the different parts of the world. So he goes anywhere and he chooses any 5 employees and he makes them do something which he has also not done ever. Something like rappelling or rock climbing or bungee jumping. He does this. Why does he do it? Because he says that I need to stay out of the comfort zone. If I have to stay out of the comfort zone, I have to fight fear every day. If you run away from fear, you will turn into a procrastinate. But if you stand up and fight fear every day, face it, you will see solutions coming out of it. And that is what is required. Fear is one thing which kills everything inside a person. So do something new every day which helps you. The third point which can help you bring a change in mindset is read about discoveries and innovations, the new developments that are taking place. Read about a new development, the new innovation, some new discovery which has been done. What happens? You don't only read about the discovery, you read about the entire history given behind it. And you get to see that from where did it start? It started with a changed mindset. Something had to be changed. And so the people went towards it, went to find out, or went in search of, or wanted to discover, or wanted to invent, or wanted to innovate. So what are they trying to do? Basically, they are trying to change something for the society, for a betterment. We have evolved, the human civilization has evolved and come to this place because of resilience, because of changes. If we were Homo sapiens, just imagine, content to live in a cave and content to eat only raw food, we would not be this beautiful civilized society that we are today. Such a lot of comfort, such a lot of innovation, such a lot of changes. This happened because man wanted to change. He wanted to change, and this will continue. This is a continuous process. Change is the only constant factor. You might have heard this many times. And the physical body achieves what the mind believes. So you need to have a changed mindset, and that is what is very, very important. So read about innovations and discoveries. You get to know about so many people, what they are doing and why they are doing it. And that is what change brings in. Okay. The next point is consider several solutions for every problem. See, every problem will have many solutions, but we don't want to look for it. We just don't want to look for it. Okay. Like we use a lighter in our house to light the stuff, to cook food. Okay, but when this environmental issue came in, many people threw away the lighter and brought in the matchbox, I mean, to be more environment friendly. This is change. We are all trying to change, accept it. So there are many solutions. There are many solutions for every problem which you face with. But if you see only a roadblock, another thing which all of you know about is the Grand Canyon of America. Okay, water, merely water has cut through it, and we have the Grand Canyon, which is beyond imagination. So water is also a very good thing. Okay, take an ice cube, let it melt, it turns into water. Heat it, it becomes vapor. And again you cool vapor, it becomes droplets of water. So it's a cycle. Learn from this one droplet of water. So learn from this. It's very important. This particular water that we have. So this is how it goes on. It's a cycle. And similarly, if we change, if we keep on changing, definitely we'll reach a point in our lives where we will succeed. And the teaching community and the teachers require this a lot right now. Being a principal, I know that even the most flexible of the teacher utters that one smelly, very bad sentence that things have been going on like this. So why change it? I've heard it and I still hear it. And I know it's a very bad thing for the teaching community, but I can't help it. But what I can help it is I can just tell you that how you need a changed mindset to work in a better manner, to have a growth in your life, not only in your personal life, but also your professional life. This is very, very important. Extremely important. So this was all about the change and the mindset to change that you need to have. Because without that, we do not grow. We do not progress in life. We stagnate. We remain where we are. Now, can you tell me one or two or three or four things which you have picked up from this my short lecture of mine, Bhashan, as I said, Bhashan with some emotions? Can I have in the chat box? What are one or few things that you picked up and learned? Flow with the change is good for the humans. Absolutely, absolutely. It is very, very important to go with the change. Extremely important. Anything else? Anyone else? There are many participants out here, I think. Attitude, that is the first thing. You have to have the correct attitude. Change is the only constant. Positive thinking. Positive thinking is a very, very vague idea. Very vague idea. When you pin it down, when you pin down this positive attitude and you put it somewhere in the written form, and only when you implement and act on it will you actually benefit from it. Because everyone always says that we must have a positive attitude, but no one exactly defines how it has to be. So positive attitude has to be broken down into into a working template. What positive attitude? See, when your child does an error, the immediate thing which comes to your mind is anger. Because you say no, because you think that no, this should not be done. This should not be done. Yes, change in perception according to our situation, exactly how you perceive things, how you see things. That is what the glass, whether the glass is half empty or half full. That is more important. What you are looking at is. But sometimes it is important to look at the half empty glass also. Another thing which helps you to grow in your life and to bring about a change mindset is asking for feedback and accepting the feedback, looking at it in a positive and critical manner to upgrade yourself, and that is what is going to bring advancement in your life. We rarely ask for feedback, and when someone gives us the feedback, then we don't accept that very heartily. I don't think we accept feedback very, very heartily. It is very difficult to accept feedback. But if you want every day, as it is said, that rate your days on a scale from 1 to 10. How did you perform? You had written down 10 to-do lists, 10 things in your to-do list. Now, out of these 10 things, you did only 2. What was the reason? Why could you not achieve 8, 9, or 10? What was the reason? Generally, there are 2 reasons. Again, fear and procrastination. You have written it down, but your mind is not willing and the mind is not pushing you enough to do it. You are not coming into the state of action. You are still in the state of inertia. You are still in the state of inertia. But you have to move out of the state of inertia and come into action. And the only way that you can do it is you have to tune your mind. And it is not a one-day process. And it is not a one-stop game also. You have to do it every day. It is a continuous process. You have to keep telling your mind that I need to do this, I need to do this. And as teachers, please, in the teaching field, you have to understand that this is a very, very regular process of change, accepting and doing things. Most teachers miss the deadlines. Every time they coming asking for 2 days more, 3 days more. Why? 10 days were given for you to say, let's say, submit a particular thing, whatever it is. Okay, let's take attendance register. Attendance register has to be submitted on the last day of the month every day to the principal. But at least 3 or 4 teachers will come in saying that I will do it tomorrow morning. Please, I need to carry it home. Why? Why? If that procedure is to be done on that day, that is only because they don't want to accept it. They don't want to do it. See, one day has 24 hours. Multiply it into seconds and minutes and see how much time do you have in hand, and how much time do you actually utilize it for your productive growth, for your work. One is your work, your simple work, which is very technical, which is very manual. It does not take a lot of time to do. But the point is that you have fixed a time frame in your mind that no, I need this much time only to do this. Try to break that time. Try to minimize that time. If you take 1 hour to correct one bundle of worksheets or one bundle of notebooks, try to think how you can minimize, lessen that amount of time so that the remaining time can be used for something productive, learning, for self-development. Professional development is something which the teachers do not pay attention to because they think that the school, the government, the principal is anyways going to force it on them somehow or the other, and they have to attend those workshops like you are attending this one. The same way. So most of them came with a mindset that Sunday, kriyas, going, this, that. But you don't understand the importance of professional development. See, Finland is growing. The Finland, everywhere you hear Finland education system. There are only 2 points which are at the base of it. I'll tell you that. And if we implement that, we'll have a better system than Finland because we have better workers than in Finland. Just 2 points. Do you know what those 2 points are? The first is they allow only the most intelligent of the students to enter the teaching profession. Like we have only the intelligent ones going in for the IS. Okay, and in engineering, medical, and all these things. Okay, so in Finland, only the intelligent students who score like say 97, 98, 99, whatever the grade points are, only they are allowed to enter the teaching profession. So we have a high intellect, they have a high intellect value which is entering the teaching profession because they understand that the humans are evolving a change, and for that change or be adaptable or be susceptible to change, the teaching community has to be the best in the world to make the children develop into such beautiful, wonderful individuals. So that was the first point. And the second point is every teacher in Finland has to compulsorily attend 2 hours of professional development. And this has to be submitted to the government through the principal and the school authorities. It goes to the government that, okay, I completed my 2 hours of professional development this week. Imagine 2 hours every week before Saturday they have to complete. So either they read, they take up training, they take up whatever they have to take up, they take up courses, online courses, they take up anything, but they have to show in proof, in proper proof, that they have attended 2 hours of professional development every week to upgrade themselves. Now, there is a book by Carol Dweck called as Mindset. So find that book and read that. You will understand how important your mindset is, not only for your life, but to accept change and to accept everything that is happening in your life. Very, very important. Plus, there are a lot many blogs available. As teachers, every day, as a principal, I invest in 60 minutes. Every day, I invest 60 minutes of time in reading. Why? Why? Okay, I want to gain knowledge, I want to gain self-development, learning everything, that is one aspect. The second aspect is I get to read a lot of documents which I have to read. Carol Dweck, the name of the author is Carol, C-A-R-O-L, Carol, D-W-E-C-K, Carol Dweck. So we need that, and exactly, thank you, Aditya Putin. So I need to read a lot of documents. I need to understand and comprehend. Like this national education policy which came up. Everyone is saying something or the other, but it is better to have your own perspective. And for that, I read the document that came in. So exactly this document might be implemented next year, I mean 2021 or 2022 or 2023. There is no proper guideline given by anyone. But the point is, if government has put up something, it has come into the rotation, at least let me know what is there. Let me be prepared for what is going to come for the future. Let my mind accept it. I read it. I picked out the points. I comprehended it. And so there were so many other people then joined into discussions and arrived at so many conclusions. But they are all in the cloud. They are all in the air. Nothing concrete. Because the government has exactly not laid down a proper action plan which is required. So it is there on papers, it might stay there for a very long time also. So with this, I conclude my session, and I think some of you wanted to ask questions about NEP as Ajitha told me. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. No questions related to NEP or anything else, or any
Yes,
other
ma'am.
questions?
Meanwhile, when the audience are taking their time to pour in the questions into the chat box, we can also have any of the co-hosts, or if any of the audience want to talk, you can raise hand and we can unmute you. But we will take the number of questions in a limited way to maintain the time. So I guess first unmuted was Rotarian Anant Bhatt sir. So over.
Hi, ma'am. Very, very energetic talk. Thank you very much. So
My
you
pleasure.
mentioned about NEP. So as a educationist, educational administrator, what are all the good things you see in the NEP and what are the suggestions for improvement that you are trying to feed to the government before they finalize the policy? Overall, what is your message?
Well, NEP is a very, very long and comprehensive document. But as always, let's talk about something good which it has. Okay. There is good, but good is, you know what, for the private sector. I don't know how the government schools are going to take it. So the point is, the first point is, as I told you, and very, very important focus is the government has put a focus on the teachers, the training and the development of the teachers, which was lost from everyone's vision until now. It was lost from everyone's vision. It is there back. The teacher training, the B.Ed colleges, which existed on paper, like, I mean, you just didn't attend any classes, you just took admission, and even the examination questions they were providing, the teachers were solving at home, writing it down, and sending the answer papers. And they were getting a degree of B.Ed. So all that dirty crap is going to be completely out, completely out. Okay, it's completely out now. We are not going to have that dirty crap. Those B.Ed colleges are going to be shut down, and this 4 years diploma, 4 years graduation that they have put for this thing is actually going to bring a very good impact on the society. And they are also going to raise the standard of the entrance test for the teachers' entrance test. But as you know, we have categorization that might cause a problem. And secondly, India has a large population, very, very large population. So I don't know exactly what take the government will really take on it. That is one concern. Otherwise, on paper, this solution looks too good for the future of India. Too good. Only the intelligent ones come in. So obviously understand the level of intellect. It's high. The determination is high. The passion is high. The dedication is high. So I mean, the level will be totally different. That is one very positive aspect. The second positive aspect is related to early childhood education. Okay, and including classes 1 and 2 in the pre-primary. Very good decision. Excellent. Because when children come in class 1 and they start exactly the formal schooling, they face such a lot of problem, I cannot tell you. Our focus, my focus as a principal, or my teacher's focus, or my coordinator's focus, immediately goes off from class 10, from class 12, 9, 8. No, we leave them off for 2 or 3 months because we need to focus on class 1. Because these children are not able to adjust in the system. The reading, the writing, such a lot of it, formal education. So putting them there in the kindergarten wing is very good. Excellent. Medium of instruction can be mother language, wherever required. There's a confusion going on around it. See, it's not compulsory. And only medium of instruction is the mother tongue. Because there are schools in rural areas where they cannot understand English. And it is the most sensible thing to do to make a child understand a concept. See, what is the focus of the teaching and learning process? It is not that I go blah, 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 blah in any language that I want. No, the focus is that one concept, how am I able to put it through to a child so that he understands it correctly? Now see the theorems which we studied in class 10. I was very poor at mathematics and science, very, very poor. So I had mugged it up. Okay, I had mugged up the theorems and I went and I vomited on the paper and I got distinction in math and science. I don't know how. Now, when I was in Kurukshetra, there's a planetarium over there. Sorry, there's a science center over there, not a planetarium, a science center over there, Panorama Science Center. And in that, they have taken up everything given by Aryabhatta. And these theorems have been well defined by Aryabhatta long back. So they have practically shown it that how this circle, triangle, square, I mean, whatever it was. And then I understood, okay, this is what they were trying to teach me in class 10. This is how it is relevant. So this is the scenario. English literacy and math skills are very poor in India. The NAP has strongly focused that we need to do something about that. Very important, because even I've said it thousands of times, even engineers who pass out are not able to exactly read and understand what a paper when this is given to them. Most probably their appointment contract only they are not able to understand. So this is a different aspect to it. So reading and mathematics skills have been paid a lot of attention, which is highly required at this point of time. Again, it's very good. But see, the entire problem is that is there on the paper, but no proper action plan has been given. Now, even this early childhood education and inclusion of 1 and 2 in the kindergarten wing. Imagine the Anganwadi teachers teaching far back in the rural areas. Go somewhere in the village, hinterland, in the forest, deep amongst it. Go there. Now, put yourself in that trees से पूरा जंगल से घिरा हुआ आंगनवाड़ी, उसमें वो लेडी बैठी हुई है, उनके पास किंडरगार्टन के बच्चे हैं और अब उसको क्लास 1 and 2 के बच्चे भी दिए जा रहे हैं. अब इस सिनेरियो में what do you feel? Is it advantageous or is it disadvantageous? Is it good or will it turn out to be, I don't know. That is one apprehension. So the Anganwadi teachers, they need a lot of training, understanding. They're dealing with these children who are entering the formal education. Somehow, they're entering the, and that is why the NGOs are going to play a very major role. That was why I was in a session with Shri Anil Swarupji yesterday, and that's what he said, that if we want to do something with this Anganwadi children, and with this 1 and 2 children going towards the kindergarten, see, private sector, it's not a problem. It's a big advantage for us. We are very happy. I, as a principal, I, as a teacher, I am very happy. But there is a problem with the Anganwadi. And the government has not defined exactly how it's going to come out with it. And I'm telling you, the NGOs will have to play a major role in training the Anganwadi teachers, because the Montessori method, what does this lady know about the Montessori method? She only knows that she has to take care of these children and feed them properly so that she gets a salary at the end of the month. That is the entire aim of the thing. So that's a big challenge. Then the examination system for 3, 5, and 8, the entire educationists are going very, very angry at it, because see, when the board examinations are there in class 10 and class 12 only, we have so many children committing suicide. So many children committing suicide, and we are not able to bring that ratio down. Because that fear of the marks and the fear of the society, and class 10, 90% लिया, 95 लिया, 97 लिया, अब engineering ही करेगा, medical ही करेगा, उसी के ऊपर नहीं आ रहे, उसी के ऊपर नहीं आ रहे. So it's a big shock for them. And now the 3, 5, and 8 again tension. So that examination system is not good. Focus in the NAB is on learning outcomes. That is very good. Learning outcomes and marks are something very different. If we focus on learning outcome, we give very good knowledge to the children. We develop innovators with the help of that. We develop innovators. The skill-based education, which is, I mean, the vocational skill, which is going to be, yes, accept change, and we should. The vocational education that is coming up from grade 6 will be a great help, especially for those children who have that special knack for doing something else, and they are not too much into education and grades and all that. So definitely it will help to them. So as I say, that education is divided into 2 parts. I mean, there is skill and there is education. So if you choose the path of only education, reading, writing, achieving grades, life is a lot easier for you. because you score good marks and you go higher and you get a good job and you get settled early in the life. And what happens that after that, I don't know. If you choose the path of skill, it's a bit difficult. The path is a treacherous one. It's also filled with a lot of, mm, uh, what should I say, potholes, which you have to cross, jump, go down, come up, climb, fall, do everything. That is a part of the skill education. So then you have people like Sachin Tendulkar, you have people like Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan is, again, I say that he's a blend of skill and education both. Because he's really taken up education also and skill also, and he's combined both and is emerged out to be the personality that he is. So that is something different. He comes under a different category according to me. So that is what is all about national education policy.
Yeah.
If there
Thank
are
you.
few
Thank
more
you, ma'am.
questions,
Thank
I
you.
can discuss.
Thank you.
We have a question from Rotarian Narmada N. Trying to unmute you now.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, yeah, sorry, it's good morning. I was just listening to you, like few things I would add on. You were talking about the changes, right? So the changes, yes, the changes was really necessary for the teacher point of view. But when it comes to the changes, yes, whatever the changes are happening in the environment, but the basic development with children remains the same. So the basic development remains
Yeah,
the
I'm
same.
listening.
Yeah. The environment has to be set according to the changes that's happening in the environment, but the developmental part remains the same. So, for example, if a child is going to start talking at the age of 10 months or 11 months, he's not going to talk before 5 in month of 5 because of the environment, right? So the changes have to happen within the teachers of getting the exposure to the present scenarios rather than making feel the children, okay, this is a change. No, the teachers have to look into the development and do the changes accordingly. That's one thing I would like to do. And the second thing I'd just like to talk on to is, we're talking about the medium of English. And you rightly pointed that yes, the engineering students who come here are not able to take up the language. They're not able to read their own appointment order or anything like that. The reason is the pre-primary level or the elementary level point of view, we are not concentrating on the development of that language, which is going to be your medium of instruction in their future. Right? The medium of instructions or medium of talking or medium of communication is English. Even if you take the parliament today, they're talking in English. But are our education system developing for this English? That's not there. But still, yes, the NEP has stated that the medium of English could be the mother tongue. That has to be put it in such a manner, making the children understand the content can be a mother tongue, rather than making it as a medium of instruction. The medium of instruction is concentrated on the language English, and making the child understand can be a mother tongue. Then we won't have the drawback at the age, when they come to engineering or anything, that they don't know English. Below 6 years, we are not concentrating on the language. After 6th standard, we are concentrating on the language. So at the early ages, because I am a Montessori trainer and I'm a Montessorian from past 20 years, and I've been working with early childhood children. So this is what I have seen. So this is on that basis I'm talking. If the early childhood education is concentrating on the language, what is required for the future of children, right? And the teachers do the changes, and there's a lot of teacher training program happening, then we can say India, or we can say that after 10th standard, children will have better English knowledge, which is required for today's world. But most of us are not concentrating on
Seema,
that. Yeah.
yes. Now, what my point of view over here is, and what I was trying to say is that we have to focus on the reading and the comprehension skills until the child reaches class 5. A lot of focus has to be there on the reading and the comprehension skills of the child. And that is what has been reinstated in the national education policy. That we want language development to an extent where the child is able to understand, comprehend what is written. Okay. And that does not come a lot with the medium of instruction. It comes with reading aloud, and self-reading. Okay. Now, as a school, we are doing, because I'm talking of private schools over here. Okay. I'm talking of private schools over here. As private schools, we are doing everything that is in our capacity to inculcate a love of reading amongst the children so that they learn to read books. They take up an interest of reading books. Okay. What reading does is it not only enhances your knowledge, it gives you a comprehensive, yes, I mean to say that. So it gives you a comprehensive view on everything that is happening around you. Reading actually opens up your mind to such an extent that even if two people are speaking in Kannada, which I don't know, probably in TV, my skills will motivate me, push me to understand what they are trying to say. But if I'm not a good reader, if I've not read a lot, if I don't read a lot of books, then I will not be able to come up to this stage. And this is one major point. The problem that is happening is the parent community does not understand the importance of reading. If the parent community joins with the schools in helping a child to motivate him to read books, and only books, hardbound books which are printed on paper, not mobiles, no Kindles, no TVs, nothing, books. It focuses, it helps the child to focus, concentrate and develop the reading skills. So when I say that these engineers have grown up, passed out, but they have not, they cannot read and understand their appointment letter, that is what I mean, that they have never read anything apart from that one textbook which was given to them. And that also they read because they had to just write the question and answers to pass the test. Trust me, there's a person called as Dr. Praveen Malla. I don't know how many of you know him. He's a great academician and he's working as a consultant and advisor to many universities right now. He has done 3 MAs. He has done his PhD. In all his 3 MAs, he is a gold medalist. PhD, he was a top scorer, but he failed in class 12. But he failed in class 12. Okay. But what pulled him through was he was a voracious reader. He says, I read so much that once I came back into education and started doing my MA, when I used to read books and theses and everything, it was like peanuts for me. So it was just a cakewalk. People say, how could you get gold medal in 3 MAs? You have done your 3 post graduations, and in all the 3 post graduations, you've got a gold medal. How? Did you study a lot? He said, no, I didn't study a lot. The point was that since I was a young child, I have read so many books and I have such a vast comprehensive knowledge that when I read those books of MA, everything just came, not only it came back to me, I was able to give it a perspective, a different perspective when I wrote my answers, when I wrote my thesis for the PhD. My perspective was so different that no one could deny it. And I got through with beautiful colors. So, ma'am, we are speaking about reading right now. Reading starts from identifying pictures. Since you're in Montessori and you've been into Montessori, you know it better than me. That reading begins with just identifying pictures. Am I right about it, ma'am? I don't know which ma'am asked me this. So reading is just simply begins with identifying pictures.
It was me in Narmada there. Hello. See, how many of the teachers, when it is coming to the vocabulary development, I won't talk about the teachers. How many of the adults I can talk about, which it goes into the parent or that anyone around the child. How many of them are good in a vocabulary development? How much of them are good in vocabulary? See, when we take about some letters or language development,
they won't be, ma'am, because they themselves are not good readers. They are not good readers. That is what. If they understand the points of reading and the importance of reading, only then they'll be able to inculcate amongst the children. And the same goes well with the parents. The parents have also not read those many books. They are also not into it a lot. So that is what is happening. They are not able to put that. And those parents who are aware about it, just see how well the children read, because they've invested time.
Thank you, ma'am. We have Another raised hand, Shri Bhairappa Reddy sir, who is a BEO officer here. Bhairappa Reddy sir, ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಓಕೆ ಕೊಡಿ ಸರ್, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾತಾಡಿ.
Hello, good morning to all.
Good morning.
This is Bayap Reddy, Block Education Officer, Gauri Dodbalapu, Bangalore Rural. So I'm very happy to work with Rotary.
Okay.
We have so many programs in government schools, particularly in rural area.
Yes.
What you told, almost they are similar to new education policy. They are mentioned in new education policy. That is good, enlightened area. The first reading starts when a child smiles at his mother or cries at environment. So there starts their first reading. After reading the environment only, they smile or cry. So today they invited me to participate. I'm very happy to hear so many subjects that you mentioned today. So this is the policy of government, yet we are expecting the government guidelines, detailed guidelines regarding this. So this is skill-based. In future, there will be a skill-based education across all the levels. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your views.
Thank you so much, sir.
I would like to be connected with you, Ajit sir, if I could have sir's contact number, because my school falls in that area, so I wanted to talk to sir once.
Which school, madam?
So since he's here.
Shall I know which school?
Sir, it's a new school actually coming up.
Where?
It's the building
area?
is still.
In which area? Which
Sir,
location?
just I think 3 or 4 kilometers
From
before
Dodbalappa?
Gauri Bidnor.
In Allipur near?
I think it comes in Chikbalapur district.
Very good. Which location? Earlier I was in Gauri Bidnor. I know Gauri Bidnor area also.
Okay, sir, I don't know the exact address, but it is on the highway,
please,
state highway
please
9 only.
communicate me. I will.
Okay. I will get in touch with you. I'll take your number from Ajit sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
And, thank you, ma'am,
Thank you.
for your time and for the wonderful session which you have provided. And would like to request Ajit sir if he would like to take up immediately, or if he has anything to share before.
No, I can share a lot of interesting discussion, and I would only like to tell you that I have been experimenting with all what was discussed, and somewhere when I see Dhirubhai Ambani, Gujarati failed, in 9th standard, and Steve Jobs, who has never seen the college, who don't read books. So I thought, let me experiment. So I took people from the slums, and my tea boy has started his own school in Kurg, and he got a national award 2 years back. And my security, who has never seen the gates of school, is a sales manager in Dubai. Because I know only one thing, my dear friends. I am also a third-class student. But when my intent is good, the content comes. When my intent and attent is good, the content comes. And therefore, I call him Dr. Vishweshwaraya sees electricity in Jog Falls, which no BE saw. And Langley, who was the first aeronautical engineer in the world, could not produce a plane, but a cycle mechanic who has never read books on aeronautical engineer, the Wright brothers produced the flight. I only know one thing, my dear friends, practically last 25 years, I've been taking people from the slums and making them, from zero to hero, only by working on finding their intelligence, which is a design by divinity and not the defined by society. And when the intention inside is very powerful and the attent is simply fantastic, you visualize and you see something which others cannot see. Please realize, my dear friends, there's a difference between change, development, reformation, transformation. I've gone very, very deep into this. We only have to do transformation. Itni shakti hame dena data, man ka vishwas kamzor hona. Either vishwas
या विष वास कर रहा है. Please understand, my dear friends, Vishwas, we are born with trust. You need not teach a seed to become a tree. The seed has everything. Just like me, a single zygote in my mother's womb. Nobody need to teach it how to become me. The me is the motivated, enthusiastic me is simply delivered. And similarly, if like in Finland, my intelligence and what intellect I gather, please understand the difference. Intelligence is what is gifted to me. Lata Mangeshkar is 4th standard fail, but she is in Guinness Book of World Record because the intellect she gathered was in sync with the intelligence which divinity had given. Sachin Tendulkar is 9th standard fail, but the intellect he gathered was something which was in sync with the intelligence inside. And therefore, my dear friends, please understand, I am, if I want to pickle in that which is contextual and not content oriented, please understand this. What beautifully Kesar madam said now. She will understand that talk whose context is in sync with the intelligence and the interest you have. There is an interest and there is an instinct and there is one intuition. We have not taken all this into extent. We are only taking intellect, IQ. But my dear friends, why nobody gets gravity? Why Newton gets gravity? Because his intelligence is in connect with that thing which he needs to find out. I've been doing a lot of R&D in this as to why, unknown people who don't know to read books are achievers. What they do is, there are 9 intelligences. So if I am a person, like let us say Lakshmi Mittal, he is not metallurgical engineer, but today he is owning the highest metallurgical engineering plant in the world. So there is beyond all what we are saying. Language is the simplest thing. We are creating problem because in Karnataka we are told Kannada andre ಏನು ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆ. So they are made to feel nothing like Kannada. And in Maharashtra, people are feel काय रे मराठीत बोललं ना तर सगळं चांगलंच होतं. So people in Karnataka are catching people in Belgaum and hitting them and killing them. And people in Maharashtra are catching the same people and troubling them. My dear friends, language is the first thing which we are born with it. Are you getting this picture? Language is, I know 10 languages. I give lectures. I don't know to read and write Kannada. But ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ, ನಂದು ಭಾವನೆ, ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ನಂದು ಓದೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಾನು ಚಿಕ್ಕವನಿದ್ದಾಗ. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ಉತ್ಸಾಹದಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ಸವ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. Are you getting the picture, my dear friends? Is it making sense or no? Everybody is quiet. My dear friends, what is happening? Let me tell you. What one system is good for Kesar, the same system may not be good for me. As beautifully put by Kesar, she mugged up. Her memory is good. So for her, when she memorizes, she will go and get pass marks in trigonometry and geometry. But the question is not IQ, but EQ and IQ, positive and negative. They should meet together. Unless things meet together, there is no charm. Charisma is when you are connected, my heart and the head. There is a beautiful song, मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा तो सुर बने हमारा. जब तक my heart and the head is not involved, involvement creates magic in this world. You need not teach the seed, but the root will go down and the shoot will go up. But unfortunately, I'm a root and I want to become the shoot. Just because there is a scope in some place, I choose a profession to go for that more salary. But in Finland, it never happens like this. In Finland, my dear friends, when you enter a profession, they will match your intelligence and intellect. And therefore, whether you like it or not, 2 hours. I read about this Finland thing, and my staff undergoes 100 hours of training per year, whether they like it or not. Initially, we push it. After that, it becomes a flow for them, because within 6 months, we put them in any job which they do, their intelligence should match with the intellect what they are producing there. I don't have to tell them to read. I don't have to tell them to read. You give physics to Tendulkar, how will he read, man? Suppose he had joined one profession of IT because there is scope. He would have never been able to read any book. But suppose, he wants to become a best cricketer, you don't have to tell him to read. He will somehow read, if not vocal, auditory, something he will do. My dear friends, when the craving is there, the braving is there. Is it making sense? Because I've been experimenting. Fortunately, I have no portions. I have no portions. We tell our children, concentrate, man. I teach children how to concentrate. Focus, man. I teach children how to focus. Be attentive. I teach children how to pay attention. And my dear friends, the mental muscles, memorizing, imagination, visualizing, then you have concentration, focus, attention. I've studied all the muscles of the mind, and simply by flexing the muscles of the mind, you can make people achieve great things. Okay? Please differentiate between intelligence and intellect. Okay. Intellect is what I've gathered from books and experiences. Okay. So let us suppose I read a book. I will read the book and understand the book from my experience. Kesar madam reads the same book and she will understand, and perspective will be different. And therefore, my dear friends, she will comprehend the way her perception is. I'll show you a nice PPT, and then you will understand what I'm trying to say, because somewhere down, I was trying to assess this. Let me see where it is here. Okay, just let me see. Just give me 2 minutes, because now something very interesting has started. Let me see what it is. Okay. Can you see this?
I guess the slide is stuck in Aspire.
Okay, can you see this? Can you see this?
Yeah, now we can see. Sir.
Wonderful. Now let us see the science of performance. Okay, bridge them with a purpose for passion. My dear friends, my potential inside me and the possibilities outside me, if they are not bridged with a purpose, what's the meaning of this? There is a silk, there is a parachute silk, there is a Chinese silk, all three are silks, but I cannot use it for the same purpose. There is a steel, there is a stainless steel, there is a surgical steel, but I cannot use it for the same purpose. So let me be very, very clear that unless I'm able to match my potential, first of all, I should fetch my potentials. So what I realized is, if I want to command excellence in life, it's very important that I should know my physical self, my psychological self, and my existential self. I don't know my property. What's the meaning of property? The activity through me, which is proper. Pro means that which will take me further. Per means through. So property. If I know the property of a cloth, then I will know whether to make a jeans out of it, or a banyan out of it, or a t-shirt out of it, or a bed sheet out of it. So I should know the property. Now, my mobile doesn't work without a SIM card. And every human being has a SIM card. S for sense organs, I for intelligence, and M for the mindset. I don't know these three things. And therefore, what happens, my dear friends? My five senses, my sight and the smell and the sound and the touch and the taste, and the other five things are speech and the grasp and the walk and the excreting and the procreating. These are the Dasha Avtara. This is for input and this is for output. So if any person I sit with for half an hour, I will be able to define how my information is taken, my input, and what is my perspective and how I'm able to interpret. So the book is the same, but the interpretation will be different depending on what interpretation I do. I will have an action because these 5 Panchindriyas and this Panchindriyas, Dasha Indriyas are giving me Dasharathas. This is my Dasharath. And if I convert it into Kaushalya, that means I have to create a skill out of all these things. I am not concentrating on converting my speech craft, my delivery, raising my talking to speaking to conversing to communicating to, what you call, convincing and persuading to influencing. A teacher has to learn to work on this Dasha avatar. And then only, my dear friends, I should realize that in my mind there is a memory and an imagination and a visualization and a thinking and an empathy and a concentration and focus and attention. Unless knowing all these things, I'm only reading some book, and I think by reading books I'm going to become great. That is why I started taking slum children who have never gone to school, who don't know how to read and write, and I only work on creating very powerful SIM cards out of them, and you'll be shocked. I work on all these things: instinct and intuition and intellect and intelligence and involvement. So I realize throughout the world, people are living on instinct. My dog will only live on instinct. The seed will only live on instinct. All species other than human beings live on instinct, but man has intuition, man has intellect. And the beauty is my instinct I can create by developing productive habits. And these things are not known. So when I went deeper and deeper, I realized that in my school, the self-image and fear and doubt and insecurity, worry, desire is gifted to you along with a degree. So a very confident, motivated, enthusiastic, inspired child is born with a beautiful degree, but these things are missing. You go to a primary school and ask, who wants to come and sing nursery rhyme? And the entire class wants to come. The other day I was in a town hall, 800 MBA students. When I asked them, I want to give 2 minutes to somebody to come and introduce themselves, and I will give them 500 rupees. Only 2 people came out of 800 people. Please, my dear friends, there is something deeper than all these things. Many of us, our self-image is destroyed. And I find that if you want to be very, very influence creating person on earth, it is to be, work on all these spheres. These spheres have to be worked upon. I should be very conscious about what my intelligence is, what is my facilities around me. But unfortunately, I've given too much importance to facilities and not the faculties inside me. And therefore, my dear friends, I'm converting this whole thing into a Ramayana. Shatrughna means all Shatru ko nash karo pehle. When I take students, I only first 1 week to 15 days, I only destroy this. I don't do anything else. You give me any non-performer, any means simply any non-performer, mentally stable, and the first thing I do is destroy this. After that, Ramayana. Ra means king, Ma means me. I teach them how to become a king of your own self. When I am able to rule my own self and I don't become a stooge in front of people. In Anand picture, there's a lovely dialogue. हम तो रंगमंच के कठपुतली है जिसके डोर ऊपर वाले के हाथों में बंधे हुए हैं. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಗೊಂಬೆ ನಂದು ಸೂತ್ರ ದೇವ್ರದ ಕೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ರೀ, we have become like our home TV. My remote control is in 10 people's hand. Somebody presses a button and makes me angry. Somebody presses a button and makes me frustrated. What type of life are we leading? Are we only running after what is defined by human beings? Why are we not bothered about what is designed by divinity? Therefore, my dear friends, Ayodhya, jahan yudhya nahi hota hai, can I make my mind pleasant, calm, conscious? absolutely serene. There should be no yuddha, no anger, no hatred, no frustration. And then if I remove the competitiveness, I should not compete with anybody in this world. I should only compete with my yesterday. Today should be better than tomorrow, and tomorrow should be better than today. And when my mind becomes ayodhya, that Ravan is removed. How do I remove the Ravan? Ra is, that Van ka Raja. So you look at the point, Sita is the Man, okay? And if I want to remove the Ayodhya and the Ravan, I have to make use of Lakshman. Mera Lakshman pe hona chahiye. My concentration and focus should be with attention on my mind. Humko man ki shakti dena, man vijay kare. A person, I'm just teaching people how to manage and conquer the mind. And once a person conquers the mind, my dear friend, my attender, I experimented with him. I'm very proud to say I got him a loan of 10,000 rupees around 12 years back. Today he's having 3 properties in Bangalore. I know only one thing, my dear friends. Itni shakti hame dena data man ka vishwa. When I heard these 2 prayers, I realized that every concentration is on the mind. Let me try whether it works. And therefore, my dear friends, I made use of this Hanuman. Who's this Hanuman? Remove that and from middle you become a human. Who is a human? Who comes out from humus. What's the meaning of humus? Earth plus fungus. What's the meaning of fungus? Humus. Finally, my dear friends, after my death, whether I'm burnt or buried under the ground, I am going to be this humus. And therefore, what I need is Bharata, my bhava and my raga and my tala. If they are singing a song together in one tune, everything falls into place. Because, my dear friends, I only need to understand to do any task. I need to develop the right skills, enable my tools, expand my attitude, enhance my skills, and enrich my knowledge. Unfortunately, we are only gathering intellect. And today our companies are suffering because we are producing engineers who have a big label, but what they need to do, they are not able to do because neither do they know their jobs, nor do they know to handle people who can do those jobs. Because the people who are doing those jobs are the people who are ITI graduates. They know how to do this task, but they come and do the whole thing. After all, my dear friends, becoming a performing professional is a different task altogether. Did I shake everybody else? Or am I talking nonsense?
No, sir. Sensible.
Sensible? Those in education, Kesarbain, what do you feel?
Sir, it requires a standing ovation, sir.
I have done a lot of R&D.
You are what you were, no? You are a coach. You are a Guruji.
I know one thing, my dear friends. Sincerely, from the last 18 years, you cannot imagine. From last 25 years, I started, and like Rotarian Ananta and all know what I've been doing very, very concertedly. I've taken risk of leaving my job because I thought something is going wrong somewhere. I left my job only to find out all this. And I thought in my own way, I'm going to make people real achievers. And let me tell you, through the World Bank, when they were selecting somebody to train the engineering college lecturers, I only told them one thing. Can you please make any lecturer, any subject, take a class for 5 minutes, and after that I will take, and they started getting a shock after shock. How is it that you're able to make this? I said, practice. But we are only learning for earning. And then the problem starts. There's practice for performance and learning for earning. So if all those 4 are combined, then beauty and magic starts happening in life. Are you getting these points, my dear friends? So it's very, very important that I have to go a little deeper into it and beyond what we are sitting and discussing. Because I find somewhere down we have got into too many nitty-gritties, which may be good, which may not be good. We really don't know what is good and what is bad. Because in my own house, my wife makes dal. I love it, but my daughter doesn't like it. So does it mean my wife is a bad cook? No. It only means my daughter didn't like it. So when I don't get marks, does it mean I'm a bad person? But I'm told you're a bad boy. Hey, bad marks doesn't make me bad boy. But this is drilled into me so many times that when I get my degree, I'm growing up with a bad boy in my mind. Because 21 years, I was made to feel I'm a bad boy. Because I never got marks. I'm a creative person. You can make out by now I'm very, very creative. But creativity was never respected in school and college. But in life, it is respected. Fortunately, my father and my mother never got a chance to enter school and college. And therefore, I got saved. If my father was an engineer, he would have killed me. See, the neighbor gets so much. I've done so much for you. Never did once he tell me, never compared me. My marks are never compared with anybody. And therefore, when I had two daughters, I had promised to myself, Ajit, don't make the mistake of what others are doing to their children. Every time my children came with the marks, I said, don't worry, Soma. What is more important in life is not marks. What is important is, do you have good character? Do you have hey, I have made one list of 21 C's and 21 P's, and competence from school is only one of it. I work on the other and make these people to rise above anybody you tell me, I'll make them to rise. Because what is important is commitment, consistency, communication. This is not taught. So if I am able to teach my children, you give me anybody who is a failure in school, anybody who's not read, give me a slum child. And my dear friends, I make them to really realize that they are born out of the winning sperm, born to win, conditioned to be losers by comparing your worst to the best of others. Are you getting these points, my dear friends? And therefore, mind is the only thing. Beautifully put, we want to change. My job is lead change. Take charge, lead change. Go for challenges. Beautifully put by Kesar Madam. At the age, last year at the age of 64, I went for paragliding. Before that, I went for deep sea diving. Every year I push myself because I know my mother had to push me, otherwise I would not have been born. If I was not pushed to go to school, I would have never gone to school. So I push myself. If I don't push myself, I will never be growing continuously, consistently, constantly. Okay. Somebody wants my number, I'll type it here. 9945 0066. Okay. So please understand, my dear friends. Everyone has to understand that the whole thing is the mind, and I'll come to this mind thing. Let me continue from where I had, I want to give you a wonderful corollary as to, this is one song which really touched me, and I give a beautiful concoction of this. You can see this or no?
There is a black.
There is a blank. Okay, let me again go. Okay. Quickly, now can you see, please?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. As I told you, my dear friends, look at that small acorn seed and look at that huge seed. And I know as a human seed, I was motivated, enthusiastic, you name it, and everything was there. Where did it go? And I realized, my dear friends, the tree is in the seed. It has the strength and the resilience and the potential and the durability, and it can go as deep as 40 feet. The root is softer than my finger. My finger cannot go 1 mm, but this soft root can go 40 feet down, ripping apart the earth, throwing the big walls. And then I realized a person who knows, though his beginning is humble, he has got humongous possibilities, while every other species grows instinctively. Humans need to develop and evolve intelligently, not intellectually. There is a lot of difference. If I choose a profession as per my intelligence, I will be doing effortless effort. Otherwise, I only have to put effort and I'll get tired. And therefore, my dear friends, the strength is in the root, the sturdiness is in the shoot, and the success is through fruit. If this is already planned in a seed which is having no thinking capacity, and this human seed has been given intelligence and a thinking capacity, what is the place we can go, my dear friends? And therefore, what I realized is there is a power inside you waiting to come out, but the pressure cooker valve is sealed, and therefore it comes back and sucks back inside. It has started troubling me because I'm not unleashing this power in me. I'm studying something else because there is scope outside, but my scape is not matching with the scope, and I'm not empowering myself. And therefore, my dear friends, I am not a seed. I have to be self-aware. I have to understand. I have to work on my self-image. It doesn't happen just like that. I have to develop self-control of, confidence. I have to self-discipline, grit, determination, perseverance. And then I have to develop the tools and the skills for self-reliance and improve on my self-worth. Instead of doing all this, I'm running after net worth. And therefore, my dear friends, you will find people making all what they want in net worth, but no smile on their face. Health is gone because, my dear friends, what is inside of us is covered by the moon. My power, the moon will move away. The moon will move away, and the sun's, elimination, whatever power will come out. But my power has been hidden by all what I've been hearing and seeing. And therefore, my dear friends, I have to unleash the educator in me. And that can only happen if I do that to empower my students. I can do magic and miracles. Magic and miracles. But I have to understand this poem. इतनी शक्ति हमें दे न दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर हो न. इतनी शक्ति, उतना शक्ति नहीं, उतना means ego. इतनी शक्ति जितना चाहिए. If it is more voltage, the bulb will burn. If it is extra petrol, my car won't start. But I'm pumped with for having remembered who is the president of which country. I'm given an award and reward, and these people, when they go into the world and enter the world, they find they are not successful because Shakti becomes Shak. Shak means doubt. Shakti means, Ti means to put effort on the Shak. And that is what we need to teach our children. That the doubt of the tomorrow, the concerns of the tomorrow, and the burdens of the past or the fear should not put them down. Dena, data. Dena, data. Actually, data ne diya hua hai. Diya means what? Light. And I have to enlighten the diya inside me. And if I can teach a student, an educator, what's the meaning of educator? Induce means to put. Educe means to squeeze out. So if I squeeze out that intelligence which is in the child and then connect it with what intellect I am giving, because in our system, I've been trying a lot, there are people who come to me who are not good in studies, but then how do I make them to study? Let us suppose one boy was brought to me by his father. He's a tennis player. And, now he's in America doing his post-graduation there. And he was not passing in physics. I only told him, every day you get up at 4 o'clock and practice so much of tennis. Why don't you put 5% of that energy and interest into physics? And believe me, my dear friends, his job was only to pass PUC second year. And then he did that, and now he's in America. So what I realized is, I have to be able to connect my student to the subject which I'm teaching. There are two subjects here. My student is a subject, and beautifully put by Kesar madam, they are changing every 3.5 years. Every 3.5 years, the mindset will change. So I have a subject, I have a situation around me, and I have these three things: subject, student, and situation. As an educator, I should know how The seed and the soil and the sun and the season have, that is known as confluence. But an educator has to influence, and that can only happen when I learn the art. And that is exactly what I want to come next. How to do this? Let me forget this because I have time paucity. I will come to that seed and the child. Please understand, my dear friends, an empowered educator, either they are adhyapak, jo adhyaya pakata hai, they complete the portions and they're very happy. They are filled in all forms and they are very happy. Upadhyaya, who takes the students to the next level. Pandit is somebody who is a champion but may not be a good teacher. Acharya, who plays politics, who made, Eklavya gave his finger. Guru is a person who removes the unwanted and stimulates anything and everything through that which is wanted. A guru who removes darkness. Okay, so how do we do this? First, we have to understand the awareness. In every student who comes to me, they have an instinct, they have intuition, they have intellect, they have intelligence. Unfortunately, we are only concentrating on the white part. So I started concentrating on the three parts. What did I do with the yellow part? I started, humans are the only people who can develop productive habits. Like somebody said, reading. So every day we make them to read 10 lines. And I will give you an example. 3 students came to me. They have never passed 10th standard for 3 years. Why? They were interested in cricket. So what I did was I wanted to help them to start liking the intellect of science. So I told them, hey, let us play cricket. And they asked me, uncle, but you don't have place. I said, let's play book cricket, man. So we started book cricket. And one became Sri Lanka, one became India, and one became Pakistan. And we started book cricket. And in that book cricket, they kept on winning. 3-4 days we only played book cricket. Then we said, okay, they were competitive. So I said, let's see who reads the book fastest. So actually I introduced book reading to them, the science book reading. Third, somebody has to read 10 pages and the other 2 will ask questions. You should be able to answer all 10 questions. So I made the reading into a competitive thing. Believe me, my dear friends, all 3 of them passed the same science with plus 85% marks. So what did I do? I didn't teach them anything. I didn't even read the book. I only made instinct, the productive habit, and intuition started working differently. Intelligence started uplifting differently. So I should be aware of the realities in life, and I should know how to influence the people. And how to influence the people from content, I have to be intent driven. I have to create interest. I have to be, what is the meaning of integrity? The grit internal is known as integrity. The grit external is known as perseverance and determination, which as sports people, they already have. And that 3 on top, which you see, I create an involvement in the students, and my dear friends, you influence them. And when you're able to influence and create an awareness, the student comes out of the shell of the egg. Please understand, either I create a shell for the student by comparing his worst with the best of others, or I help the student to break the shell. So what are we going to do? And therefore, my dear friends, we have to align all these 8 things, and then only the beauty in the student start. And therefore, please realize, I can, I will, I must execute my full potentials. We have 9 intelligences, and a person who has been told how to integrate this, automatically you will find, that's why I've now made my thing better, your best. That means today should be better than yesterday, tomorrow should be better than today. Now, how can you do that? This I've made my magic mantra. I can, I will, I must execute my full potentials. And how do we do that? We put them through challenges and obstacles as adventure and not as adversity. Idu madbeda, adu madbeda. Don't do this. This will happen. Hey, stop this. Calculated, intelligent risk will make you to be dedicated, disciplined, determination. You have to teach these 3 things. Dedicated for one cause, discipline to do what you need to do without giving reasons, determination is come what may, I will not terminate myself. I am devoted to a cause, not for an applause. No shabashi. Negatives, they are known as akrishiyas. So we collect all these acacias from the student and make them to burn them. I take them for an outbound program, 3 days and 2 nights. And we make them to burn and barriers. And believe me, my dear friends, the students come out, they burn that which limits their progress. So you look at this, all the students who are not passing, I took them, and it was very nice. We make them to pass currents. All this river we to Kaveri zone, but a single India and come out of their comfort zone. Okay, let me put it the other way around. Increase their comfort zones. And in short, my dear friends, learning to relate with life and others through realization. Realize the wonderful resources within each one of us. It's unlimited. You cannot imagine where a human can reach. And therefore, my dear friends, what is important is the connect with the self and students. This college, we had taken the student because everyone doesn't try all these things. They complain about risk and, the unfortunate thing is we want explanations and explanations and explanations. I only know one thing: expose, explore, experiment, evaluate, emerge. This is my formula. Expose them. Okay, they do all these things. Then we make small groups, and in small groups they bring out their learnings, and from the learnings they do presentation, and from the presentation they learn what they need to do, and we make them to make commitment, and then there is a follow-up, and wonderful starts taking place. And therefore, my dear friends, education should not be information based, not knowledge based, not knowing based, but understanding and wisdom based. Unfortunately, we give a lot of information and we say knowledge is power, but my laptop is having so much knowledge, but it should have been dancing. But knowing is much more. Knowing means experiencing, exploring. Understanding means realization. And unless these two things are, the last three things are not done, and my job is, what I did was, I didn't want to give information, I didn't want to give knowledge. I only gave these last three, and you will be surprised. I, conduct these things for corporate now. I started with corporate and bring out the learning and make the companies touch 100 crores within a year's time. That means double the turnover, triple the turnover. Last year, we took one company from 8 crores to 30 crores only by working on the mindset, the last three things: knowing, understanding, wisdom. Unfortunately, we are stuck with information and knowledge. So look at this girl. She had 8 operations in 1 year, 8 operations, and her self-image was completely gone. So she came to us for an entire 2 years. And this year, last year, she represented India in Germany. And she's she limps, her leg is a problem. So in swimming, she came second, and in dance, she came first. So let's be very clear, my dear friends. We need to work on our children's mindset. We have to make them to realize that we are born to win. And comparison, criticism, and conditioning, these are the 3 C's which are killing our people. We have to make our people commandos. And from the last 27 years, officially, we have been doing this. And I realized that seed, sun, soil, and season. Similarly, an educator has to understand the subject, student, surrounding, and reason. And so what we did was, we understood logos, pathos, ethos. 2,500 years back, Aristotle said this beautiful statement. But what is blocking these 3 is the mythos, the conditioning, the myths. You're a girl, you're a boy, you're a Hindu, you're a Muslim. You don't know this language, you don't know that language. So what I did was, I started working on ethos first, character and culture, because I came to know that in Finland and Japan, they don't start teaching people. They start developing character and culture. So I started working on this ethos, ethics, how to develop your ethics. Then came to pathos. How am I going to make my mind very powerful pathologically? I'm not going to be emotionally drowned the way today people who come first in class, they want to commit suicide when the rank becomes 15th. A boy committed suicide because he was not chosen the head of the school. He was not made the head boy of the school. So nonsense, this, we are only going after logos, logic. And these 2 things are missing. My triangle is not complete. And therefore, my dear friends, Let's understand the content and the context, and the competence has to be balanced. It's a isosceles triangle, logical, ethical, aesthetical. And then only I come to know that logic is static. I can get it on my mobile. I can get it, go to Google, I can get it. But what is dynamic? The way I face life is very dynamic. I cannot know how to do it. That has to be taught. But we are not touching that at all. Today, every school wants 100% results. And in that bargain, am I killing the student is very, very important to me. And therefore, my dear friends, the educator has to be a mindful gardener. And therefore, we take some students whose parents are risk takers. We take our children. And, when I went to, one colonel came to me and he told me, Ajit, can you change my child? My child doesn't have confidence. His self-image is very low. I told, Colonel, you make people in India to die for the country. How is it that you could not work on my child? And he said, Ghar ki murgi dal barabar. So I started taking children, thanks to this colonel, and till 12 o'clock, I make them to slog. After doing all that river crossing and all, they sit in groups. And after dinner, they come and present. And then they have to make a commitment. They don't sleep before 10:30. And early morning, 5:30, we wake them up. Then we teach them physical activities, mental activities, psychological activities, existential activities to make them robust in all the cases. And my dear friends, do I need to tell you that when there is a conscious learning through realization, the discovering the self in the safe environs, very, very safe. We are doing this for the last 27 years. And the grit helps to be responsible and accountable and push through problems. But today we are having gold medalists who don't know how to take care of themselves. Today people are getting blood pressure and heart attack around 25 and 35. It's only because we have not been taught how to discover ourselves. What is important is I am not the seed. The seed is a single entity, but a human is 5-layered entity, physical, mental. The more you go beyond, it becomes subtle. Physical is 5 elements of nature, but mental is subtle. Then comes emotional, still more subtle. Then comes energy, still more subtle. Then comes, there are so many layers, 5 layers, I'm not able to get it. And therefore, I realize these are my staff. I take them every year to our external place and I make them to, go through the grind of life. Paragliding, going through, boating, go-kart, make them to, slog, and afternoon we go in the garden and make them to sleep. You see that bald Yashwant, now he has become a national trainer. He's just 28. He's become a national trainer. And that was his first year. So what happens? He is finding it very funny. But my old staff have no problem. You put them anywhere. Like Kesar said, every year, every week, they have to undergo 2 to 3 hours of training. And they have to show me that 100 hours at the end of the year. And, I started this in companies. And you see at the right-hand side, that's a nationalized bank manager. All the managers had a problem of collecting their NPAs. So, I'm very happy to tell you that all these managers were able to collect their non-performing assets. And these are the sales people and production people. I put them to the grind of life for 3 days and 2 nights. And then they are not the same. They become achievers. And please understand, my dear friends, qualities have to power the qualifications outside. The levels inside are more important than the labels outside. And therefore, as an educator, can I start imparting character and culture, and caliber? You look at the things which, need to be looked into: talents, tendencies, and temperaments. Please understand, if what you see to the left, if a child without knowing this is getting a degree, they will have a big problem in life. Therefore, you see a lot of unhappy people. I am, my mind is not taught thinking and the thoughts, choosing of thoughts. Traits is my skills and my tools. So these 2 things we have left out, and we are only going to the 3rd thing. So please realize, my dear friends, life is simply wonderful. I don't want to go on, because if I go on, there is no end to all these things. I find people want to ask questions. And yes, can anybody ask me questions now? 2 hands were raised. Yes, please.
I'm trying to unmute Rajalakshmi ma'am.
Yeah, Rajalakshmi ma'am, please tell me how can I help you?
Okay, I will try to unmute Ayesha ma'am.
Yeah.
You might have to click on OK once I try to unmute you.
Kaikini, sir.
Maybe there is.
Yeah, I can hear you. Please.
That is Nagaraj Shringeri sir. Sir, ಹೇಳಿ.
Sir, Ajit Kaikini, sir, is there, how can we create a guru like you? Because we need multiple and any number of gurus in the present situation. Not one Ajit Kaikini may not be possible to bring a transformation into the entire, so to say, the community or to the student.
Nagaraj, please understand, slowly times are changing. I find a lot of people are having the guts to change their jobs and come into this. Look at the 28-year-old boy Yashwant. You have heard him, right? Yeah. Yashwant is from a small town. When he came to me 3 years back, he didn't know English. He used to only talk in Kannada. And today, if you listen to him, you know, he had an inhibition to speak in Kannada because people used to make fun of his English. First, I removed his nonsense called inhibition. What is inhibition? When outside my energy is for exhibition, inside me comes inhibition. My energy is outside there to impress people, not to express myself. So there are a lot of features I worked on Yashwant. Today I'm very happy to tell you, Nagaraj, every year 2-3 people. Okay? Because mine is not a certificate course. Very few people like Yashwant and Kashyap has gone to, you know Kashyap, he has gone to Andhra, he has started his own institute like this. And my T-boy, Prakash, has gone and started his own school in his village because there was no school, he got a national recognition. Nagaraj, in my own way, you know, all good things take time. You don't have to advertise to sell any bad things, you know, but to do any good things, you have to advertise. That's the problem. And I wouldn't say I'm doing a great job, but I'm just doing what my heart is telling me. I'm more through intuition. Okay?
Sir, here we require, you may not be required for your sake. We, the people, should get benefited from your type of thinking and attitude. That is more required for us.
Nagaraj sir, when I started buoyancy with my wife, my own people started pushing me away. They thought I'm going to become a big failure because I had no money in my pocket when I left my job as a chief pharmacist of Manipal Hospital at the age of 35. People called me a madman. Yes, I am mad because normal people don't achieve anything. Only mad people achieve.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I have a request,
Yeah.
Surendra Rao.
So what you say is right, my dear friends. I've started it. And yeah, Sudhindra Rao, tell me, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
namaste, sir.
Namaste, Sudhindra Rao. Heli, sir.
How are you, sir?
Absolutely. Mulbagula?
Sir, Mulbagla training, but I'm working in Ramsagar High School.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, just
Really,
I want
sir.
to, yes, sir. Just I want to know, I have a lot of interest in changing my working place. I have interest in painting and drawing and other things. If I want to give that to my students, my place of working where very jealous people are there who are who want to suppress me one or the other way. So how to come out of that, sir?
Sudhindra, please understand, nowhere you'll get one conducive atmosphere.
Yes,
If you're doing through your heart, it took me 8 years. I sold everything in my house.
Yes,
I was
sir.
almost on road.
Yes, sir.
Few friends helped me. Okay, I cannot forget those people who helped
Yes, sir.
me.
Yes,
And
sir.
luckily, I don't know how, you know, when I was almost on the road, I had a lot of problem. Rotarian Ravin came forward and helped me. I can't
Yes.
forget it.
Yes,
So
sir.
he, it was a centenary year coincidentally for me, for Rotary. And therefore,
Yes,
I
sir.
did 130 programs. He paid me enough to run my show that year. Otherwise, I would have been on the roads. I had sold everything in my house, the gold. Luckily for me, my wife also came out with all her gold to sell because she said, no, what you have started will join hands. And those who know Sadhana, I'm sure some of you know Sadhana here. Name is also
Yes.
Sadhana.
Yes,
So,
sir.
you know, I think I read Jyoti Madam's name. She knows Sadhana, and she has done wonders. Which wife, you know, will sell everything without asking a question? And every year, 8 years, please understand.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, so Sudhindra, if you have the guts, you know, Gandhiji never asked this question, I have problems, because he would have been shot. Rabindranath Tagore never asked this problem. He would have been killed. But those who have the intent will create the content and the attent.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, if the intent and the attent is right, the content will come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
Sudhindra, start
Yes, sir.
doing on your weekends. And the interested people will come. Don't worry about it. That's how we started. Now, all over India, people come and stay with us and do what we are doing. So, you know, that's because they're seeing the change. Okay, you got it? Yeah. Asha Nagesh, yes.
Thank you.
I'm Asha Ganesh, Mr. Ajit, principal of Bandari Jain College. I'm sure you know BBUL Jain Vidyalaya, a part of that institution.
Asha Ganesh, sorry. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Ajit. So, as an
Good
educator
afternoon.
and academician from past 30 years, the major challenge that I'm finding is how do we know what interests these students? That has been a challenge because somehow nothing seems to interest them. Nothing seems to inspire
correct.
them. Yes. How do we find out what inspires them? Because many of the time,
Asha Madam, let me come directly to the point. I want my child to drink milk, but the child is not taking milk. I will give ice cream. He is having cold, I will give pudding. And therefore, as an educator, give me any subject. I take that challenge. When, you know, when World Bank was choosing who can make classes interesting for the engineering college lecturers, I told them, you take any subject. Engineering college subjects, no problem. So what I used to do is, in BMS Engineering College, Dr. AI, I should go and train the lecturers. I make the class, and afterwards I'll take in 5 minutes class, and other teachers will tell what is the difference. That teacher just has to pick up those skills and traits, and I tell them how to go about it. Are you getting the picture?
Yes.
Ajit sir, I guess there is a network issue at your place. Your voice is breaking at some point of time.
Okay.
There's a network issue at your place, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Your voice is breaking at some point.
Because there was noise coming. I'll go out 1 minute. I will go out because these people have closed all the doors and windows because my dog was coming. 1 minute. Okay, now can you all hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, it's good. You know, Asha Madam, what I used to do is, through the World Bank, I was sponsored 2,500 engineering college lecturers to be trained. So I used to make a lecturer take a class for 5 minutes, and I used to tell them how to create interesting classes. So then the teachers used to tell what made the difference. And believe me, within 5 minutes, they know what are the tools and the skills they need to develop. It becomes very, very easy. But otherwise, what happens is at the end of the year, every school, college, company call the people, no, you should improve, you should do well, you should do better, but where to change, how to change, that should be shown, which is not being shown. Lot of information is given, but the transformation and reformation doesn't happen. For any change to take place, whether it is students or the teachers, first reformation. If I want to paint my room, I need to scrape the old paint and then give the new paint. That is exactly what we should do with our educators. Unfortunately, only information becomes boring. You should give live examples. You should create that stimulation. Insulation has to go and stimulation has to come inside. Then only there is a big change. Got the answer, Asha Madam?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Any other questions?
Thank you, ma'am. And I'll try to unmute Rajalakshmi, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, please click on unmute.
Hello,
Yes,
sir. Namaste.
now we can talk.
Namaste, Hedi.
I'm very thankful to be a part of this session. Very much inspiring, sir.
Thank you.
Same as you made or set an examples. It is me also doing the same. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಅದರ ಮಹತ್ವ ಏನು, ಆ ಪಾಠಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಈ ಕತೆಗಳ ಆಧಾರಿತದ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ಮಕ್ಳು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಡ್ರಾಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿಲಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. I was proud enough saying, I'll be proud enough saying that I got more ideas with your informating slides today. I think I can develop and imbibe the same. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Raj Lakshmi. You have also answered. There is one Swapna madam who has asked how to create interest in students in reading. You know what I do is, whenever I go to a class, the first 3 minutes, I only stimulate them by what is happening in the market. And I tell them, if you want to know more about this, you go there. Because, when a student is not ready to read, it means I am not creating enough interest. Interest means I have to create internal rest in the mind. And when I create internal rest in the mind and stimulate them that, they should know more, then I don't have to tell them to do homework. Never. Enough stimulation has to be given, motivation drive. Why me? ME means motivation and enthusiasm. If I can stimulate these two things in a student, then everything falls into place.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely correct. I'm indeed very proud and thankful to you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. I now will try to unmute Aisha, ma'am. Aisha, ma'am, if you can click on OK, you can be unmuted. Unfortunately, it is not happening. Any other questions? You can leave a message in the chat box, or if you want to interact with sir, you can make use of this opportunity. Meanwhile, we are very happy that we could get such an energetic session today from Ajit sir. Someone named Moto E Plus has raised hand. So probably this will be the last question which we will take up.
Please.
Moto E4 Plus. We don't know your name. If you can introduce yourself and start, that would be really great. So, ma'am, you have any question? Moto E4 Plus.
Yeah, one last question. Yeah. Moto
yes,
E.
sir.
Yes, here he comes. Tell me. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Ajit. You hope you remember me. This is Rotarian Ravi Hegde from Tirsi.
Hi, Ravi Hegde. How are you?
By Rotary. I'm so very glad. It was so inspiring. And I expected nothing lesser than this from you, sir.
Thank you. I'm very happy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ravi, sir, for joining us from Shirsi. Okay, I now request our teacher support member, Rotarian Anant Bhatt sir, to give an impression on this program and to address. Anant sir.
Ellargu namaskara. I think we should consider very lucky day today. We started off with a discussion by Kesar Patel ma'am about Kurukshetra war. So the way I think there is one word that summarizes both the speakers, the ME that Ajit sir just referred to, right? Highly motivated and highly energetic. That's a thread that came across. So when I listened to Kesar ma'am first few minutes, I was reminded of the first stanza of Bhagavad Gita, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Amakah Pandavas Chaiva Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. This is almost the English translation. She started, the war is about to start, the people are there, then this is what happened to Arjuna. Yes, sir, ma'am. Thank you very much. So, if I can just make some points, I think most of advice is, in a way, Bhagavad Gita summarized in English. Calm your mind. Don't try to change the world outside. Change your world. So, I am sure, we learned so much. And now if I can give a twist to it, whatever summaries you mentioned, I will coin Sanskrit words for it. Dine dine, remember this, friends, that, whatever she means, practice something every day. That's the only way it changes. Other one that we are told in the scriptural journey or spiritual journey is anything you want to do should be Nairentarya and Dhirgakala. Means no change will happen immediately. I have been beneficiary of great talks by Ajit sir and educational administrators and very, very experienced people like Kesar Patel ma'am. So change will not happen immediately. I think it will take time, and the success is if we can allocate the time to make it happen. So thank you, Kesar ma'am. And now about Ajit, I don't know what to say. For us, we learned A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Whereas in the hands and mouth of Ajit, these words dance. So motivated by him, I have also written a poem, sir, for you, Ajit. A, B, C, D, E, F. The new meaning is Ajit Bhaiya converts dull every time forever go high. That is the new ABCD. And what amazing vocabulary he has. I noted down some points. Wherever there is Utsaha, there is Utsava. And then I don't know whether he repeated this. I was a beneficiary of attending some of his lectures. Of the association is an Nanana one sari. So our lectures ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನೀವು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ. So that is the work that Rotary also is trying to do. I know you are all doing good job as a teachers, and our small contribution in a series of talks like this to make you great. And you are all, you have the potential to be great. And then what beautiful, wherever there is intent, there is content. And don't ask for facilities, ask for faculties. And then don't work for a cause, work for a cause, not for applause. Beautiful. I mean, he plays with words. I returned on one more. Don't seek information, seek transformation, reformation. And then so many new meanings he gave to Ramayana. We should have done it in the reverse order. No? Ramayana came first and then Mahabharata. But amazing modern interpretation to our old Sanatana Dharma knowledge applied to practical words of today. I must say, we from Rotary really benefited in learning our own abilities to, do programs like this. But most importantly, I'm sure all the 700 odd teachers are highly motivated to become great educators. And Sanskrit is very rich language. Our Indian languages are much, much richer than the Western languages. So instead of just one word teacher, we have Acharya, we have Adhyapak, we have Upadhyay, we have Guru. So we from Rotary side, we wish all of you become great gurus. And I will hand it back to the formal vote of thanks to thank all the contributors who made it happen. Back to you, Srinidhi.
Thank you, Rotarian Anand Bhatt sir. It was really nice to listen to you. And Ajit sir is trying to say something.
Yeah. See, today, if you all are interested, I'm having a free class on mindfulness for 1.5 hours from 6 to 7:30. What you call this telephone number. Those who are interested, please send me a message. I will send them the link. It's a free thing. Every Sunday I do it because building individuals to build India is my project. And thanks to Rotary, which they started, promoting this. And now I'm promoting through webinars instead of just wasting my time at home. So my number has been put there. All those who are interested, please contact me. I will definitely send them the link. Thank you very much, Rotarian Srinidhi.
Thank you, sir. I now request Rotarian Anuradha ma'am, member from Teacher Support Committee, to present the vote of thanks. Anuradha ma'am, can you hear me?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you are.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you very much for your inspirational and magical session Mr. Ajit Kaikini. I also thank Mrs. Kesar Patel for your informative session. This session was enhanced by all your presence. Thank you. DLCC Rotarian Guru Nagesh, Coordinator Road Tractor Srinidhi, Teacher Support, Chair Rotarian Shivakumar Jagde, AG Rotarian Lakshmi Shastri, Director Membership Rotarian Ravindranath, Rotarian Nagaraj Shringeri, Voluntary Committee Chair. I thank Teacher Support Committee members Dr. P.S. Raghavendra, Rotarian Anand Bhatt, Rotarian Dr. Kiran Kumar, Rotractor Meghna Gali Gali. I also thank Mr. Bhairappa Reddy, BEO officer. Thank you, Retractor Vaishnavi from MES Rotract for the invocation song. This session is hosted by Rotary Bangalore Junction, Rotarian Velu B. Beti, and members of the club. Thank you. I thank PTG RG Jain from RID 3090, and I thank all Rotarians, Rotractors, teachers, and audience present here. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rotarian Anuradha ma'am. And with this, we come to the conclusion.
Srinidhi,
Yes, ma'am. Lakshmi Shastri ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please.
Ajit sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, it was a wonderful session.
Thank you, thank you.
ನಮ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಂತ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಖಂಡಿತ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದೆ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ರೋಟರಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಷ್ಟು ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್.
Thank you very much, madam.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, Ajit sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. And with the permission of the Teacher Support Chair, we can end today's program, but we will meet back in the upcoming weeks with a new session and new topics and lot of knowledge to learn from. So, Jagate sir, if with your permission, we can close. Once again, thanks to all the teachers and Ajit sir for making it really energetic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Lakshmi ma'am, Hedi ma'am.
15th and 16th we will have the session as we have planned. We will give the topics on WhatsApp groups.
Sure. Okay. We
Please,
will meet back on
once again
15th.
you can announce that.
Sure. Okay, ma'am. We will announce it in all the groups, WhatsApp groups. If any of you are not in the WhatsApp groups of the Rotary Teachers Training, I will put my number and you can leave me a message and we will add you there. So thank you all once again for joining us, and many thanks to Ajit sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.